What's up, everybody? George Palaio here today with Ellis Aych. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you said it right.
H.
I love that.
And by the way, it's spelled A-Y-C-H. No E.
No E.
No. So,
Yeah.
Aych is how I said it the first time when
Right.
we first met. So, Ellis Aych. And, are you laughing?
I'm laughing because it's like you thinking Ellis Aych.
H.
Yeah, yes, sir. I appreciate you.
So I got a chance to meet. We're in Austin. For those of you guys who don't know who we are, we run a life insurance investment company, and we wanted to do something different in office because it can get, mundane, robotic. So we're like, dude, we got to do a comedy night. So I go on Instagram and I make a post. I'm like, any comedians here in Austin, let me know. And I guess one of our guys that works here,
Kenneth Pierce Jr., fabulous guy.
so you guys work together.
Yeah, at the airport, yes, sir.
At the airport, and he was like, "Hey, my one of my mentors is looking for a comedian. That's how you and I met,
Yes, sir.
right?" And so we planned this comedy night, and I didn't plan it. You planned it.
Yes, sir.
And you brought out different people. We had a great time,
Yes, we did.
and it was freaking nonstop, amazing experience. The guys had so much fun, dude. They're like, "We got to do this every month." So I think we started a new office tradition. So this is the first time on a podcast we've had a comedian come out. I have some interesting questions. I shared some of them with you.
Yes, sir.
But I'm excited for I'm excited to build a relationship. I'm excited for your career, man.
Hey, thank you, man. I really do appreciate it, George.
Yeah, anything that we can do to help get the message out there in terms of who you are. I know you're up and coming.
Up and coming, yep.
Yes. So, guys, with that being said, welcome back to the podcast. If this is your first time, by the way, watching the podcast, we're doing this podcast. We've had people from the financial industry, estate planning attorneys, CEOs, comedians. So it's just an all-around podcast where we want to talk to people who are interesting, learn from them. There's so much different forms of entertainment, but sometimes you can be entertained, learn something, and be entertained. And that's kind of the idea for the podcast, as well as developing relationships. I think a podcast is a great biz dev opportunity, because how many times do people call you and tell you, hey, man, I want to have you on my podcast and get to know your story and help you, market and brand yourself. So we're excited that you're here, man. So tell me.
I feel like I'm on a date. I'm sorry. I'm looking. You got the nice white pants on. I'm just like, tell me your life story. I'm like, I will. Okay. Yes, sir.
When did you have an idea you wanted to be a comedian, man? When's the first time that even came into your mind?
Man, I mean, I've always been funny. I've always been funny my whole life. I want to say the first time where I got on stage and wanted to be like, okay, let's do it in front of folks, 2016 Cap City. I never really did stand up in front of a crowd, but I figured I'll just watch a bunch of stand up and just do what they did. And I did what they did or what I saw. And I'm not going to lie, a lot of people, George, their first time, not great at all. I mean, it's horrible. I wouldn't know because my first time was great. It was amazing.
There you go.
Killed it. Phenomenal. And then you would think right after that I would get right back into it, but no, it was like, okay, I did it. Now I don't have to, because it was more so like, do it before you die. Like, go ahead and do it. Just knock it out. But then
Were you performing comedy to your family at this time? Are you just the fun guy in the family? Are you just cracking jokes all the time?
So it's funny. It's like I'm the oldest of 6, and in my family, in my household, I'm the more rigid, formulaic, like, all right, guys, time to brush your teeth, like, come on, mom, so I'm more, in my family, I'm the responsible one. But in life and when I'm at school, I'm like the silly, crazy, goofy guy. So it would, like, my comedy, abilities didn't really come into fruition until, like middle school. I start cracking jokes and then this, that, and the third.
Do you think God makes people comedians? You think just their human natures are just going to be funny, or their outlook on life is just, they want to make people laugh?
I feel like everybody has a specific gift, like some people have a way with words and some people can fight and some people can do open heart surgery. And I can't do none of that. I can make you laugh. I can make folks laugh. So I do believe that God gives us certain abilities. Cause I wouldn't make no good surgeon, bro. I'll put your heart where your spleen's supposed to be at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you seen now that you do it one time, you show up to the show, you're watching people. Who were you watching that got you prepared?
Man, okay. I don't know why, and this is a true story. I was watching Richard Pryor.
Okay.
But Richard Pryor is like, first off, he's like the GOAT. He's goated. He's like the guy. But that was outside of my lifetime. So I'm calling people like turkeys and stuff, like, you know, just out of date or whatever. But I'm watching Richard Pryor, Bernie Mac, and Cat Williams. Boy, when I tell you I love me some Cat Williams, oh man, he is just the best, the absolute best. So I would study that, and I would watch their movements, because you know, comedy has different styles, right? So some people are very still, very stoic, but their words, is the delivery and their words and their cadence and how they speak.
Like Chappelle?
Like Chappelle is he's very formulaic with his movements. Everything he's moving to is a strategy. You know, when he says this punch, he's gonna end it over here. But me personally, I love the chaos. I love the movement. I love the fast action. I love the act out.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw that. We got to see if we can put a clip of you acting it out in this right now. Insert that if we can.
Man,
but
it's
yes.
gonna be me doing the salsa or something. I don't know. That was a good night.
Yeah,
that was a really great night.
Yeah, I agree. So, okay, here's a question. So that kind of answered who your biggest influences and inspirations in comedy. Would you say those guys?
Yes. I mean, the list goes on. I like different people for different reasons, but in terms of like overall like package deal,
okay,
Cat Williams, Bernie Mac,
got it,
and I'll say Lavelle Crawford. Richard Pryor, he's great, but it was before my time. So, but these were the people I grew up watching.
Got it. How much of your show, when you do a comedy show, how much of it is prepared?
Bro, you actually want to cross my leg.
And how much and how much of it is improv?
Okay, so it depends. If it's about the level of comfortability and how high are the stakes. So if the stakes are high and I have to perform like at the, not saying, okay, I treat every show with like such like care. I don't care if it's 300 or 20 or whatever. I'm going to give it my all. So I come in with a game plan to do my set. But if it just depends on the number. Like if it's 1,000 some people, it's gonna be hard to just do crowd work or whatever. But if it's a more intimate setting, then maybe we can address some stuff. Like if it comes to me. But I want to say, if I had to put a number to it, 50-50, man.
Okay.
I want to just do. I get mad because I'll tell myself, don't do anything don't do anything. Like don't care about the audience. Just stick to your set. But then there'll be a cross-eyed lady with one leg and a buck tooth, and I'm like, who the hell are you? And why are you here? And then we'll have an exchange, and then damn, I'm back to doing the crowd work. But yeah, it's about 50-50.
Do you do more crowd work now? Are you more comfortable doing crowd work versus when you first got started?
You know what's man, George, when it was one of my friends told me, she goes, Ellis, you're funny. In the beginning, I stuck to the script. I did not move from the script because I was so afraid. Because the thing is, I've seen people get heckled. If you leave people enough room to interject, they will interject.
Sure.
I never wanted that. So I would always, boom, and I would switch topics, never leaving room. But then my friend was like, Ellis, like, it feels like it don't feel as authentic as it could be. And I said, what you mean? I don't know. It's just like, you're a funny guy. Like, you should trust yourself to, if anything comes your way, you can handle it. Because I ain't going to lie, man. All comics are sensitive. All comics, I don't care. They sensitive. I don't care what you heard, whatever. I don't care about cancel culture. Deep down, you in the room crying about it. Comics, we sensitive. So, with heckling, I'm real tender. I ain't going to lie. I want everybody to be my compadres. I want to do business. I want to be cool. So I'm not trying to. It'd be like, if someone's like, we can't curse on here, can we?
You can do it if you want. I don't know what YouTube will do, but.
Okay, then never mind. But if someone's like, oh, you stink or something, I'm just going to be, okay. And then just move on, But as time went on, you just got to trust the audience. You just got to trust that they're not like, what's the word? Like confrontational. Nobody wants to really pick a fight with the dude on stage. I'm already crazy enough to be on here talking in front of all these people. You really want to go against me, the guy with the mic?
Yeah. You
want to go on one-on-one? But most times people don't want nothing. And if they do, I have a little something for them.
That's funny. It's an interesting perspective because nobody thinks about that end. But yeah, the audience is there to have a good time, man.
Yeah.
They want to laugh. They want to be, on your side, unless I guess you offend them or whatnot.
Right. And me personally, everybody has their different like comic like lanes, right? So there's like the orator, like I'm gonna make it funny, but you're also gonna learn something. Then there's like the people that are like, I don't give a damn about the audience. Like I'm the comic, and you gonna take what I gotta tell you. It's more of a combative, like antagonistic. Like I'll say something to offend you, and and then me, like I said, I want us to have a good time. I'm silly.
Yeah.
We finna laugh. We finna joke. It's a good time.
So when you came, you did a lot of research on our guys.
Oh yeah.
So what made you do that?
Bro, I know a whole conversation about you and your pops at Red Lobster and everything like that. You were earlier on in the business trying to figure things out, asking questions. Your pops was like, hey man, chill out with that. You were like, hey daddy, hey, I love you. I got to figure this out though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I did research on everybody, man.
Yeah.
Research is oh man, poor performance prevents,
proper preparation prevents
poor performance. I seen that in the post. And I've always like kept that in my mind. I was like, I don't never want to not be prepared, because relatability is key. That's key in like comedy. It's key in like sales. Know your audience. Know your target audience. If this demographic don't go with this, then you can't you can't. If you performing for like a bunch of vegan pacifists, why am I gonna talk about guns and eating bacon? They don't make no sense.
Yeah.
The more I learn about you, the more familiarity we have with one another.
Yeah.
Cause then it's like, oh, he's like one of us.
Yeah.
What do you know about coachability versus teachability?
Yeah.
That's one of the things you talk about.
Yeah.
And I know that that's a big thing around the office. If I implement that, then they're like, oh my God, he's one of us. But George, I would have done, if the city of Austin was like, hey man, we want you to perform in front of all the garbage men in Austin. Boy, I'm finna look up I'm gonna look up anything I can about like throwing away trash. I'm like, don't you hate when people don't close their diapers up and then the shit fall out? Man, yeah, I did that in Lavaca. I was picking shit up off the floor. But then they'll rally with me.
Yeah.
And then once we rally, we have camaraderie. We have understanding with one another. That's when I go in my set, because now I'm your buddy. You're going to eat everything I say up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okafor's bit was, I think, one of the funnest ones.
Oh, Elvis?
Yeah.
That man
connected with Elvis, bro.
Elvis is the opposite. He is like the best version of me. That more tall, chocolate. I'm short, stout. He mechanical engineer. I can barely do long division, bro. I'm like,
my son going to be great at everything.
No, this man, ladies and gentlemen at home, Elvis Okafor, right?
Okafor.
This man is a mechanical engineer, a philanthropist, a life insurance agent, former basketball player. He raised pit bull puppies. He works on trucks on his, like, it's like I can picture his dad going, like, somebody being proud of him and be like, what is your son gonna be? I picture his daddy going, he would be everything.
That's so funny.
He gonna do everything,
up, bro. People were dying.
Yeah,
so,
man.
What do you like most about stand up?
I like the thrill of it. I like the perform. I like the energy. I like a crowd. Like, some people are shy away from the crowd. I am emboldened by it. Now, I'm not obnoxious about it. Like, look at me. But it's something about, like, when the light's on you and you got something to say and you can finally say it, it's like, it's liberating. It's liberating. And then laughter, man. If you can get a crowd of people to laugh, boy, that's worse than crack. You gonna want to do that I know you've made people laugh in your speeches.
Yeah.
That laughter, it's
the best.
I did that shit. And then you go on and say your point. Okay, anyway, IULs.
Yes.
But it's something about it, man. It's I don't know. I just like the fact that I get to make somebody's day better. I think the best part also is like being able to come up to somebody or somebody coming up to me and being like, hey, dude, because this happened maybe last month. the show was okay, but it was just some you're gonna have good audience, some bad audiences. But I was like, I did my best. It was an okay show. I didn't think too much of it. Some lady walked off and said, "Hey man, my dad died last year, and we have not laughed like that since before he had died. Thank you for this." And then I'm like, "Oh my God, you really liked it?" Because I thought that show was shit, but I'm glad you, okay, you liked it. You are a funny man, keep going. But it's that moment, it's that exchange.
Yeah.
Because it's about people. We at PHP, we people helping people around here. And I like to help people too, but it's in a different way.
Yeah. It's the healthiest thing for people to laugh, man. We're so freaking serious. That's something I struggle with.
Man.
There's a quote in the Pat said. He says, "There's nothing funnier than a man that takes himself too serious." And sometimes when you're like building a business, building a life, family, responsibility, leadership, stress, you start taking yourself serious, right?
Yeah, and as jovial as I may seem, the comedy and my girl, she can attest to this. She off camera, but there's been many a days where it's like I'm silly. The business of making people laugh is very serious. Like all the things leading up to it. So, when I'm not on stage, I'm like, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to do this. And, my girl will always put it in perspective for me like, hey, what does it, like, you're all worked up and it always works out. So why don't you relax and understand that it's going to be okay. You don't have to be this, oh, I'm a businessman and da-da-da. But George, I'm sorry. Like when I was talking to you, bro, I'm like, babe, give me a second. I'm talking to the CEO right now. I'm talking to a big fish right now. I'm out here using words I ain't never used. Like I will send that at your earliest convenience. Oh man, it is unfortunate. Like but she was like, relax. He's cool. Yeah. Like he's texting you. Be cool. I'm like, I gotta seem professional, babe. Sorry, that's why I got the suit on right now. Huh?
You were, by the way.
I was professional?
Yeah, super.
Okay.
Yeah, we look like we look like I'm the comedian and you're the podcast host, bro.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm like, I was finna fund your next special.
That's funny, bro.
Yes, sir.
But no, that's a great point that you need to have fun doing the process of it, even though it's stressful, to enjoy the process of it, because otherwise you don't really enjoy the journey of it, even though there's good moments in between, obviously, but it's like, are you happy living your life? And that's something that I think a lot of people forget. So your girl, by the way, she nonstop smiles. She's just always smiling. She's the most serious person I've met. So when I met, and I know she's in the room, you're like full funny. She's like full straight serious as can be. It's an interesting mix.
But she
balances you out.
She definitely like reins me in because I'm so like, I'm very like, oh my God, I love this person. And then she's like, babe, relax. Like, like, and then whenever somebody isn't who I thought they was, she's like, I knew.
I told you.
I knew it all along. Baby, you got to open your eyes. I'm like, my eyes are open. Yeah.
So what's the part you like least about comedy?
You know what's crazy? Bro, that breath was crazy. Okay, I'm just thinking. Okay, because I had a nervous breakdown yesterday. Oh, I was in the car screaming. I think the most frustrating thing is I think with comedy, it doesn't necessarily, even though you're funny, that is such a small part of, that is just, being funny is like the most, it's very important. It's imperative, it's integral. Like, you're a stand-up comic, you better be funny.
Yeah.
But I think it's the business. I think it's understanding who you are and where, because the thing is, a lot of times we self-assess a little too, we assess ourselves like, you see yourself the way you want people to see you. So I carry myself like I done had 4-5 Netflix specials. But in reality, it's like in the comedy world, I'm still like on my journeyman level. But I feel like that the comedy clubs will give you these kind of bum days of like, yeah, you could perform at 10 o'clock on a Wednesday. Wow. Okay. Everybody's in bed. It's the middle of the week, but it's like, well, you're not there yet. And I think the frustrating part is when you know who you are and you know what you are capable of, but your reality at that current moment in time does not necessarily reflect that. And I think it's pushing through that and remembering it. But it's the whole song and dance of remembering who you are, but remembering that you still got some more to grow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. So I get to answer your question, because I feel like I went on a tangent. I think the thing I like least is just like the business and the politics of it all. Yeah.
Yeah, I think our guys can relate to that, because when you get started here, you're going out there trying to help families. You'll drive to a house, the person won't open the door. You know, you just drove an hour there, and you're coming back. You're like, man, but I want to be an entrepreneur. I got big dreams. I got big this. And in that moment, you know, that failure or the lack of appreciation, the lack of success, the lack of audience, it can make you doubt yourself. It can make you question yourself. How do you keep yourself going in those moments?
I think it's just to remember, like, oh man, I'm saying all this, and the moment I walk out this door, I'm going to forget everything I told myself. But I think remembering that you are not, like, someone said you're not as good as you think you are, and you're not as bad as you think you are. I think it's very healthy to have a moderation and of the way you assess yourself and managing expectations, and just remembering what you have accomplished. Because, I mean, there's been, I'm sure in this line of work, there's been plenty of times where, you know, you didn't think you were going to get a sale, or maybe this situation wasn't going to go the way you thought it was. But it's like, you've been through this before, and you've come out on top. You've been at the highest heights. You've been at the lowest of lows. But that's what life is about. It's the highs and the lows. I'm dyslexic. I just mixed that up. But it's about the highs and the lows. It's about it's almost like this. If you're at the top of the mountain, you cannot forget the times you were at the bottom.
Sure.
And when you're at the bottom, you cannot forget the time when you was up top.
Yeah.
Because you can bounce up and down.
Yeah.
But remembering who you are, regardless of up or down, who you are, and having this like, I read somewhere, right, a ship can withstand the whole entire weight of the ocean. No matter what the condition, like the way it's built or whatever, it can withstand like the oceans and everything like that. You would think it'd crash, but it can withstand everything as long as there's no water in the ship. I think you should always make sure, because the highs got water and the lows got water. But as long as you don't get no water in your ship, you can withstand any condition. My ship ain't got no water in it. So good or bad, indifferent, I'm going to be okay.
That's good. That's great advice.
Bro, that was
inspirational.
That was tight.
That's going to be a short clip right there.
Yeah, bro. That was good.
So has there ever been a moment where like somebody in the audience just flipped out? What's like the worst moment in comedy you've ever had? you just twitched.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Bro, I got a couple, but I think, I'm like getting mad. This was when I was like first coming up. I was at this comedy club that was like also a restaurant and a boat shop. Don't ask me about it. A rich white lady in New Braunfels. I love her to death, but it was a boat shop, a restaurant, and a comedy place at night. But anyway, they had a comedy competition. Oh no, it wasn't a competition. It was just a regular old show.
Okay.
So I'm the headliner, right? Okay, so the headliner, that's the dude who's closing the show out. It's like an unspoken rule. Nobody performs after the headliner, unless it's like Dave Chappelle or something, because who am I if Dave Chappelle comes through?
Sure.
But unless it's somebody that like outranks you or something, you don't go up after them. You're the headliner. But this guy who ran the show, who was a host, who's not my friend, I didn't know who he was. The lady hired him, and he got all of his buddies to come to the show. And oh, George, it was the worst show. His people were literally like stonewalling me. They were literally like, okay, I'm killing. I normally kill all the time. Boom, 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 boom. Sometimes some jokes may not hit as hard, but they almost always go. George, I get on stage, start doing my thing. Arms crossed, looking at me like this. Just not even a peep. Everybody behind that line is ha 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 ha. One lady spit some champagne out. And I'm like, I know this is funny, but they're sitting front row. But they're laughing at their friends. I heard someone say, don't laugh at him. Don't laugh at him. And I'm like, wow. So
Makes
y'all,
no sense.
man, it don't make no sense, but it really like irked my like brain.
So
Like,
did you flip out on the audience, or
I was
did
like,
you deliver harder, or what
I
happened?
was like, dude, what the heck is wrong with y'all? Yeah. So y'all buddy got off stage. Now y'all ain't gonna laugh at me. And then I started like picking at him a little bit, saying something. And the one lady went, I said, now you about to give yourself a seizure trying not to laugh at me. You about to hurt let it out. And then she started laughing. But then I just was like, man, that is despicable. And then after I got off, good night, everybody, good night. The guy friend comes up and be like, we got one more. The dude talk this. We got one more performer. This guy. I'm like, no, we don't. It's rude. Yeah. It's like certain things you don't do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But can I tell you one more? I got another story. This is crazy though. A lady comes up to me. I was a regular on Kill Tony at one point. And the lady comes up to me, old lady in her 40s. Oh my God, you're so funny. I have a festival that I would love for you to come to at San Marcos. I said, really? She goes, yes, it's gonna be so amazing. Just bring you and just be funny, and we're just gonna have a great time. It's a festival. So I'm like, okay, it's a festival, whatever. I come up, and it's outside. In Georgia, ain't nothing but a bunch of white people with their shoes off, with dreads, eating like raw honey. It's just some bohemian shit I never seen before. And then they're like rolling in the dirt, like listening. No, they're like legit like touching grass. It was, you know how people say you gotta touch grass? They were touching grass, bro. Really, just rubbing their head in. I said, okay. They listening to music like this. It's a music festival, George. So I don't know if you are familiar, but it's like, it's one thing to have music in comedy shows, and it's another thing to do comedy at a music festival.
Yeah, it doesn't typically connect.
It don't connect because the music is like, we're like this. Them folks had cigarette lighters and just going, yeah, oh my God. So they're vibing out. They're talking to whoever they're talking to because it wasn't Jesus. It was some other shit they were talking to. So I'm just like, okay, they're mellowing out, doing their things. And I go up to the lady. I go, excuse me, ma'am. Oh, my God, I'm so happy that you're here. Come on up. Oh, where's the host? There's no host. Just vibe.
How was that show? How long was the show? Did you do the show?
I did.
Okay.
I did it. I got on stage. Grabbed the mic out of people. It was like, oh, yeah, it was playing like boom, 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 like some like acoustic guitarings and everything. And then someone just said, get off stage, get off stage, get off stage. And then it was just nothing. I grabbed the mic. And then the dude, and then as soon as I grabbed the mic, there's a security guard. Hey, man, you can't get, and then this, no, he's a performer. He's a performer. He does stand up, go. I grabbed the mic. I'm about to do it. And I'm like, y'all ain't tell nobody I'm coming up here. And everybody's just like, what are you doing here? We're vibing. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm doing stand up now. So she didn't have nobody, like I just climbed up this, like imagine a stage and someone just climbing up. There was no entry point for me to get up. So I climbed on stage talking and I'm just doing my set. Now, people are still trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
Yeah.
But about 15 minutes into it, they finally gravitated towards me. I mean, bro, that's a long 15 minutes. Imagine being on stage for 15 minutes and people are still trying to figure you out.
Yeah.
Some people are laughing. It's about 100 people out there. Some people are laughing, but a lot of people are trying to figure me out. And then I finally, after 35 minutes, everybody got on board. But can you believe that?
Yeah. But that's the stuff you got to do when you're coming up, man. That's what makes coming up when you make it. That's what makes it special. Is all that crazy shit you had to do to get there. Has your comedy changed over time? Like, does it change over time as you changed, or is your style changed over time?
Has my style? Okay. I want to say the heart of what I do is still like, if I had to like paint my stuff with a brush, like it's still red. Like I'm a red comic, whatever that means. But but it was always just red, just bright red throughout. But now I'm learning the nuances, and because at first I was uncomfortable with pauses. Like if I was doing a joke, I would be uncomfortable with telling you long formed jokes. I would just want to hit you in the face with it. Boom, boom, boom. Silly, silly, silly. 100. But now I'm more controlled, and I try to hit certain notes. And it's almost like a masterpiece. You know what I'm saying? If I was Jackson Pollock in the beginning, now I'm a little bit like Monet. I'm just taking my time, making sure everything is succinct. I think I mentioned earlier, I did not give when I was performing, I wouldn't give any room to breathe in terms of my material. So, but it wasn't until like later on, I invite people to, let me clarify. I don't invite nobody to interrupt. But I'll give them like you, bro. If I see you at the show, are you coming to the show, by the way? Jokers?
Oh, yes.
Oh, just jokers. Anyway, I would love for you to come. Everybody's invited. Sorry, shameless plug. But if I seen you at the show, I'm like, where you going with them white pants on? Oh, he mean business. Look at this TV, but that boy working Colgate. I like that. What are you, Mexican? What is this, Puerto Rican? What are you, papi? Like, it's like, and you would like smile the way you are right now, and then we'll have a little bit of exchange, and then I'll be like, okay, sexy with the red beard. You Irish? Me too. I love O'Reilly's or some shit like that. So,
so you engage with the audience more so now,
right? It's definitely got to be like, but I ain't gonna say I got to feel it, but it's like if y'all are like this, I'm just going to hit you in the head with my best jokes. Then when I cracked you open, then we can start playing. Or sometimes, every now and again, I'll be like, let's play with them. Because there's been times where I'll do my best stuff, and then it's just like, it's an okay response. And I'm like, I'll stop the show. I'll be like, what is wrong with y'all? What's up with you? You got white pants on. How you going to be mad? Like, and then it's all like, man, not one show's the same. If you ask me what's the playbook, there is no playbook.
So the entire time you're analyzing, what can I do? Where do I go? How do I connect?
I am constantly assessing what needs to happen all the time. Like with the show at PHP 2 weeks ago, it was like I was so ready for a corporate event. And when Anthony got on there and was like, F this and F that, and you got a few gang members at PHP, I want you to know that. Because I was out here doing some stuff, and then I was like, how y'all feeling? Someone yelled out, I'm good, blood. I said, oh, no. What have I gotten? And then I had to assess, like, okay, I can get a little crazy with this crowd. Yeah. And oh, my God.
We recruit everybody, bro.
You do.
Diversity.
Diversity. That's crazy. Somebody, hey, what's up, man? Hey, look, you look like you can sell life insurance, buddy. Hey, for real? Hey, no crypto, though. No crypto.
That is funny, dude. Do you sit there and watch, do you study, an athlete will watch game film? Do you sit there to watch other comedians on purpose to, study their comedy, or just you enjoy do you even listen to other comedians from an enjoyment standpoint? Do you study them?
If they're like my constituents, I don't. Like, if they're somebody I grew up with, then I can almost, this is my childhood. Like Mike Epps, I love watching Mike Epps. I can watch him, and I love how he is just having fun. He's having fun all the time on stage. But I try not to too much, because it starts to bleed in, almost by osmosis of you listening to it. If somebody hollering out, man, I hate bitches, and then I might come on stage, I hate bitches that was when he did that on stage. So I try to stay true to who I am,
I got you.
In that way.
I got you. That's good. And then what advice have you ever gotten from a comedian that's helped you in your career?
Man, what's crazy? I want to say the best advice I got, or at least the one that stuck, because I get advice, but I ain't gonna lie, not all advice is applicable. Not all advice is applicable. It could be different circumstances, but the ones that stuck out to me the most was Theo Von. I got done doing an episode of Kill Tony with Theo Von. Theo Von, I said, hey man, look, I know one day I will be able to sell out. I could sell out arenas. I feel it in my spirit. What can you give me any advice, man? I want to be like you, bro. He came to me and said, hey man, look, just let them learn about you, because otherwise you're just a writer at that point. Because you can do jokes, right? But people like to invest in the person.
Oh, that's deep. That makes sense.
Right, because I can write knock jokes and observational shit that we all are. But if you don't know who I am, the moment you start to invest in me, that's when my brand will grow. It's like, oh, I feel this is my friend. I know him. because if I'm just doing a string of jokes, then it's just a faceless bot going through these jokes.
Yeah, that's a great advice. If you could perform a show with anybody, who would you want to be able to do a show with?
Man, if I could perform with anybody, I mean, I would say Cat Williams. I love Cat Williams. I love him. I don't like, bro. I grew up. Well, I'm 30, so I grew up like watching my mom like watch Martin Lawrence and everything.
Yeah.
And I would have to go in the room because he was talking about all kinds of craziness and everything like that. Damn, life came full circle. My mom was like, he talking about coochie and all that. I don't want you hearing that. Now she's sitting in stage hearing me talk about coochie. Like, it came full circle. Like, she tried, Oedipus Rex, he tried to stop it. Yeah, okay, anyway. What was the question, bro?
If you could perform with anybody, who would you want to perform with?
Yeah, Cat Williams. Cat Williams. I love him. Like his earlier stuff especially, it's so dynamic and so funny, and it's so like, I pray, people pray for wisdom. I pray to be crazy as hell, to come up with ideas and angles no one's ever thought about. Cause his angles were so different. And I just want to do a show with him. Like, I would open up with him. Like, I wouldn't even like want to perform like as a feature, but open up for him. And then after his performance, I'd be like, Mr. Cat, Mr. Williams, can I ask you a few questions? Pick his brain. Cause man, I don't know. Like, who's your favorite comic, bro?
We're gonna send you are, bro. Come on now. No. I'm gonna tell you. Bill Burr.
Bill Burr
is funny.
What are you talking about?
Bill Burr's funny as hell to me, bro.
Dude,
I could watch Bill Burr nonstop.
No, he's so
ruthless.
He's consistently good too.
Yeah. Sebastian Maniscalco.
Oh yeah, I like him too.
His jokes remind me. We had him at one of our big events, but his jokes, the way he talks about his dad, I relate to my dad. His dad's Italian, my dad's Cuban, but very similar, like old school Cuban Italian dad. So I think we just connect on that.
Oh man, no, he's cold. He's really good.
So last question: is there a favorite joke you have that you could leave us with, make the audience laugh? Either something you've written or something you like.
I think okay, so George, we talk about familiarity and investing in me as a comic, so that means I have to open up to you and share a little like stories about my life, right? So George, what is a family nickname your parents gave you growing up?
Georgie, Papito.
Georgie, Papito. Oh, that's so sweet. Papito, because you're little guy.
Yeah.
Papito. Oh, come here, Papito. Okay. Yeah. My mom, she gave me a nickname too. Yeah, she called me Deep Throat. Yeah, that's crazy, right? That's insane.
Why would she call you?
Why would she call? Why?
Why?
Why would she do it? The story is, because I remember growing up, my mom be, boy, you drinking that drink, you got a deep throat. You finished that hot dog already, you got a deep throat, baby. But I'm not thinking. And let's be honest. We give words meaning, we give it connotation. For example, in London, spotted dick, that's a dish. But spotted dick in America, that's a problem, George. You came home to your wife with a spotted dick? You think you gonna be, hey guys, I'm not gonna be able to make it. You gonna have a Zoom call, guys, I gotta get checked out, I'm in the clinic right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's a problem. But different environments yield different results. So that's the thing. That's the joke, is my deep throat joke. Cause yeah, that one I like to usually end on, but I'm trying to figure out ways to like beef it up. But yeah, deep throat, man. Yeah.
There you go, man. It's been great being with you, bro. Thanks for coming on the podcast. We look forward to having you come out. I think we got our next show already. I don't remember the date.
August 24th.
So if you're in Austin, man, you want to come out and hear Ellis and have a great time and laugh, send us a message. We'll send you an invite. And then tonight you're performing. This won't be out actually in time for the audience.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, but if somebody, we'll go ahead and put your contact information, social media page, etc.
Okay.
In the description, so somebody, maybe they want to come out and see a show.
I would love that.
Yeah, it's been great having you, man. So thank you.
Thank you, George. I really do appreciate it, man. Let me shake your hand. I got COVID. No, but thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So guys, if you enjoyed it, follow
follow the channel. This way you can see and turn on notifications so that you can see the next time we have a guest on the podcast. And if you're a potential guest, we love to interview. If you got a great story, background, business owner, comedian, any great story, something we can learn from, be entertained, be educated, we'd love to have you on. With that being said, take care, everybody.